Good evening, football fans and members of the Yuma Scorpion Fantasy Football League and owners. I am your commissioner, Hunter Schaal, and today I am here to address um, what is, I guess, being called as TradeGate 2.0. And this is in reference to California Rebel General Manager Dan Thompson and the negotiating tactics that he used a couple weeks ago with the accusation and trade of DeAndre Hopkins from Las Vegas to California. Now, as this was a move done separately from this was move just made from the general manager standpoint. He has got full control of the team, building wise, and he's able to get at players. But if he thinks he can get them, I, as an owner, have given him control of that team. But to an extent, he has used the owner of the team as the commissioner of the league. So therefore, we can help people out to an extent, help. And we do know that is wrong. The buck stops here with the commissioner, and as an owner, we will separate ourselves at the moment. Our general manager, we know now of what was full on. The proof, the documents, evidence has been released of that trade negotiation. And to an extent, we cannot find a way to get around this. So the buck stops here. And as commissioner and owner of the California Rebels, I take full responsibility of what occurred 2 weeks ago with the accusation and trade of DeAndre Hopkins. This is not, I guess, the first instant teams have complained about the conflict of interest of the commissioner and his organization. Strong conflict of interest is probably what most people would say. For me, I am a commissioner of the league, and I am a history and political science major in college. And I like to, see fantasy football kind of like politics. So you're going to do whatever, or as an owner, I'm going to do whatever it takes to win. And that might be manipulating and to an extent having general manager, coach, say things that will use the power of the commissioner and his role as league manager to kind of possibly collude with other teams in a way to give the California Rebels an advantage. Again, I take full responsibility for that as a commissioner and as an owner. This is not the type of organization we want to run. We want to run a first-class, world-class organization. And the fact that we have to do this, have this conversation right here, proves that something is wrong, and we need to address it. There, again, like I said earlier, there are lots of issues pertaining to conflicts of interest and other corruptness, I guess, of what has been going on in the commissioner's office for the past 6 seasons. Many have came to accuse the commissioner of using and stealing the league funding, league dues at time, and pocketing the money. But I can assure you that that has not occurred. the incident, what this is occurring or referring to, is the 2016 championship of Cincinnati and Reese Snyder, and how he did not pay his league dues until well after he had won the championship, knowing quite well that if he paid, he was going to get a large chunk of change in return. Now, the precedent to this rule, or why he did not get his money, was set in place in 2013. Now, we had an owner, the Iowa Rebel Killers and Addison Ross, do that same thing, and we did not quite like that he waited till the last second or last minute after he had won his championship to pay the money. So after the 2013 season, we put in a rule that to win any money or to get your money, you have to pay before the season is over. And preferably, we would want it to be within the first 5 weeks of the season. But we do know that sometimes is difficult, so we do give some grace. But again, you have to have the money in before the end of the season, because it's not fair to teams who pay in August to see that through. See, you get paid for paying at the last second and then winning and getting a whole bunch in return. So again, that money from 2016 season was paid out to the rest of the owners who had paid, and then also some was returned to the rest. What was left over was returned to the fellow owners who did not win money. But going back to our big incident with Tradegate 2.0, we see it is a big problem with the conflict of interest between commissioner and owner. And we, as a league office, see this quite as a problem. And as a result, we may quite well be on our way to losing some great key members of our Yuma Scorpion family. And sadly, I don't know if there's anything I can do to quite fix that. But I do know that there is something I need to do. And it is come to the point that it has gotten too far, too far of conflict of interest between Commissioner Hunter Schaal and owner Hunter Schaal. The owner will do anything and play at any stakes to win the championships for the California Rebels. Very successful team over the last 6 seasons since Hunter Schaal became commissioner. Not all that has been caused by collusion, but to an extent, most people would say at least the 2014 championship was bought by the California Rebels, and because there was no rule in place, the commissioner allowed it to happen because it was his team. Again, that title still stands as the Rebels because they did win it, but there was a rule put in place later that year. 2015 team for the Rebels was fair, was one fair. But again, here we are in 2018. Rebels are very eager to win. I will say that right now. But the conflict of interest is just too strong for the team and the league, the sake of the league. So action needs to be taken. So therefore, I shall resign the office of Commissioner of the Yuma Scorpions Fantasy Football League, effective January 1st, 2019, at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. At that time, Joshua Thomas Peters of Dedham, Iowa, will be sworn in as the next commissioner, the third commissioner in the Yuma Scorpion Fantasy Football League, at that time, at that hour. If you have questions about that incident, just remember that we are trying to fix things. So if you have questions about the new commissioner, you come to us and we will gladly hand out information on the way to contact Josh Peters. Josh Peters is also an owner of the Los Alamos Atomic Thunder, but the feeling is he will not be as ruthless as a commissioner and owner. So the conflict of interest will not be there as it is with the rebels in the commissioner's office. So at the time, I, as Commissioner Hunter Schaal, will continue to serve out as commissioner until January 1st, 2019. And I just want to say my final remarks as I speak to you probably for the last time as commissioner is I am not a crook. I have never been a crook. The things I have done were completely legal. And if the commissioner does it, then it is not illegal. Those are the way the rules go. But to an extent, again, the conflict of interest is just too strong at this present time. So I shall resign the office of commissioner effective January 1st, 2019. Commissioner out.